Okay, for this section, you need to multiply each of these binomials, put your result here, and then a, b, and c. A, b, and c are the coefficients of each term. I'm going to go ahead and give you the answers for the first couple, but then you'll need to multiply in the rest. So for this first one, x plus 3 times x plus 6, when you multiply, you would get x squared plus 9x plus 18, which would make a, the number in front of the first term, be 1. B, the number in front of the second term, would be 9. And then C is the last term, which would be 18. For the second one, we have x squared minus 10x plus 21, which would make A be 1, B would be negative 10, and C would be 21. The last one I'll do is the x minus 3 times x plus 5, which would give you x squared plus 2x minus 15, which would give you a is 1, b is 2, and c is negative 15. So you're going to need to multiply in the rest and find a, b, and c. The important part for this section is what's on the side. It says to examine the results in the line A, B, and C columns, and what do you notice about the values of A, B, and C compared to the binomials. So it's asking you essentially to look at these numbers and see what you can notice about them. This can be pretty tricky to think about, but I'm going to help kind of walk you through it so that way you can see the pattern that is happening here. So if we're looking at A, B, and C, actually right now for this section, all that matters is B and C, because A is always 1 for these. And I'll just let you know A is going to be 1 for all of these in this section. So all we're really looking at is B and C for this section. What I want you to notice is that if you have 18 and 9, this is something that we did if you had me as freshmen. You can find factors of 18 that add up to 9. So for example, 6 times 3 is 18, and 6 plus 3 is 9. Well, 6 and 3 are the numbers that we had here in our binomial. When we multiply 6 times 3, we get 18. When we add 6 plus 3, we get 9. So when you multiply these numbers, you get C. When you add them, you get B. And that is true for the other ones as well. If you take negative 3 times negative 7, you get this positive 21. If you add negative 3 plus negative 7, you get negative 10. So if you have 21 and you have negative 10, negative 7 and negative 3 would multiply to positive 21 and add a negative 10. And those are the numbers that we have in our problem here, is negative 3 and negative 7. And same thing for this one here. Negative 3 times 5 would give me negative 15. And negative 3 plus 5 would give me a positive 2. So once again, we have the scenario where negative 15 and 2. Negative 15 is the product of negative 3 and 5. So if you take negative 3 times 5, you get negative 15. Negative 3 plus 5, you get 2. So what we can see is that the factors of C, the numbers that you multiply together to get C, can be added to get B. The numbers that you multiply together to get C can be added to get B. So that is the pattern that I want you to notice there. Okay, down a little bit further. We're going to be doing the same thing. This time, our a is not always going to be 1. So, for example, the first one, 2x plus 3 squared, when you multiply that out, you would get 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. So a would be 4, b would be 12, and c would be 9. So this time a is not 1, so we're going to need to look at a as well. A is what we get when we take the first number times itself, or in other examples, so like for the next one we have, this would be 2x squared minus 9x minus 5, giving me 2, negative 9, and negative 5. That's my a, b, and c. So a is what we get when we take the first two numbers times each other. 2 times 1 would be a, which is 2. Negative 5 is what we get when we take the last two numbers together. 1 times negative 5. And then b is what we get when we combine our like terms in the middle. So this time the pattern is a little bit harder to see. This time, we need to take a and c and multiply them together. So 4 times 9 would be 36. And then b does still go on the bottom. So b would be 12. So then we'd be looking at numbers that would multiply to 36 and then would add to 12. Similarly, we would be looking at, for the next one, 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. And negative 9 would go on the bottom, because 2 times negative 5 is a times c, negative 9 is b. For the first one, 36, numbers that multiply to 36 and add to 12 would be 6 times 6, and 6 plus 12, or 6 plus 6. 6 times 6 is 36, 6 plus 6 is 12. For this other one, negative 10 times 1 would add, or would multiply to negative 10, and would add to negative 9. So these are the numbers that we would be looking at that would multiply to the top and add to the bottom. So what we could say here is the factors of a, c, or a times c. So 36 we got by doing 4 times 9. Or negative 10 we got by multiplying 2 times negative 5. So the factors of ac, or a times c, can be added to get b. So the factors of 36, which we got by doing 4 times 9, can be added to get 12. The factors of negative 10, which we got by doing 2 times negative 5, can be added to negative 9. So that is the pattern to be looking for on this one.